You ever get that feeling when you're watching sports and you just know you're not seeing something normal, like you're witnessing a moment that's going to end up in the history book? So it kind of gives you goosebumps because you realize you're living through a shift, not just a highlight reel. That's what this is, man. This is one of those times where you sit back and go, "Holy shit, we're actually watching the game change right in front of us." And it's not subtle, it's not quiet, it's loud, it's explosive. It's like a shockwave running through football and forcing everybody from casual fans to hardcore analysts to stop whatever they're doing and pay attention. And the craziest part is that it's happening in a place no one ever thought would be the center of the football universe. And that's what makes it so fascinating, because it's bigger than goals, it's bigger than records. It's about flipping the whole script on what's possible. And if you think you've seen it all, buckle up, because this story is going to take you on a ride you didn't see coming. The wildest thing about this whole move is just how fast everything flipped. Like, people thought it was going to be this slow burn, right? Like, oh, he's going to take time to adapt. The league's not as intense. Maybe he'll coast through a couple of matches, but no, dude landed, and it was like a bomb went off in the Saudi Pro League. Stadiums packed, cameras everywhere. The energy just felt different. You could literally see the confidence shift in the players around him, like they weren't just showing up for a paycheck anymore. Suddenly they had this guy raising the bar in training and warm-ups and matches, and the dude doesn't even know how to go half speed. He just explodes on the pitch, bangs in free kicks, scores headers, rips shots from outside the box, and the crowd is losing their minds every single time. And it's not just about the goals, it's the aura, man. Like, the second he touched down, the league wasn't some hidden gem anymore. It was front page news across the world. Broadcasters picking up rights, people in Europe staying up late to watch Al Nassr game. Americans who never gave a shit about Saudi football are suddenly like, yo, when's the next match? And that ripple effect is insane, because it's not just him performing, it's the defenders trying to stop him, the goalkeeper suddenly facing shots at a completely different level. And when you've got that kind of pressure, you either crumble or you elevate. And a lot of these dudes elevated. You can see it in their pace, their aggression, their willingness to go toe-to-toe with a guy who's done it at the absolute top. And that's the crazy part, man, because normally when a player of that magnitude goes somewhere new, you expect a few quiet games, maybe one highlight reel, then a bunch of coasting. But this was immediate, like record goals in the first stretch, clutch performances dragging his team back when they were down, hat tricks, assists, the whole package. And the fans bought in instantly, like it turned into a circus, but in the best way possible, because the pressure, the media, the haters, everyone waiting for him to fall flat, and he just thrives on it. He's like, give me more, feed me that energy. And it turns into this spectacle where you're not even watching a league game anymore, you're watching a show. And that's why the whole ecosystem around the league went to another level overnight. You get other players calling their agents like, yo, maybe I want to try that too. And suddenly this place that was considered a retirement league is now looking like a legit destination where stars can shine, all because one dude walked in and decided he was still going to break records like it was just another day in the office. It's insane, man. Because when you talk about record-breaking numbers, you're not just talking about someone padding their stats in an easy league. You're watching a guy who's obsessed with rewriting the book every single time he steps on the pitch. Like, this isn't normal. This is somebody at an age where most athletes are on TV doing commentary or playing golf, and he's still racking up goals like he's 25, and the numbers don't lie. Like, he comes in and right away you've got fastest to certain goal tallies, hat tricks like it's nothing, hitting milestones that took other foreigners years to even sniff, and he's doing it in weeks. And the wildest part is how casual he makes it look. Like, oh, here's another penalty under pressure. Boom, here's a free kick curled into the top corner. Here's a volley just for fun. The stat sheets are going crazy every time. Social media is blowing up, and you realize this isn't just about goals, it's about consistency. Because anybody can have a hot month, anybody can score 3 or 4 and get people hyped. But to keep putting up double digit, keep stacking hat tricks, to keep being the guy everyone has to plan against, that's rare, man. And the pace he's setting is nuts. Because he's not slowing down. If anything, he's speeding up. Like, there's this hunger in his eyes that says every single number is personal. Like, every time he hears people doubt him, he's like, cool, I'm going to go break another record. And that energy translates, because you've got defenders who already know they're part of some highlight reel waiting to happen. And that pressure bends them before the ball is even kicked, which is why these records feel bigger. It's not just stat padding, it's domination. It's proving a point, and then you start realizing the ripple effect. Like, okay, he passes this guy on the all-time scoring chart for the club. Now he's the top scorer in a single season. Now he's got the most goals in a calendar year for the league. And it just keeps stacking, and what happens is you run out of ways to even describe it, because we're not watching some veteran ride off into the sunset. We're watching somebody redefine what longevity and output look like. And the craziest part is he doesn't look satisfied. Like he scores a brace and he's pissed he didn't get a hat trick. He breaks a record and he's already chasing the next one. And that's the type of mindset that's terrifying, because when you mix elite genetics with psychotic work ethic and an addiction to breaking records, you don't just end up with numbers on a page, you end up with a living, breathing headline machine that forces the world to pay attention every time he laces up. It's crazy, man, because you've got to think about how fast the narrative flipped. Like Saudi football used to be this thing that only hardcore fans or people from the region really paid attention to. Maybe you'd catch a highlight clip here and there on Twitter, but it wasn't mainstream, it wasn't global. And then suddenly it's like, boom, everyone's talking about it. Broadcasters buying rights, journalists flying in, social media timelines filled with clips from games that 2 years ago, no one outside the country even knew were happening. And it's not just because of the goals or the drama, it's because now there's this magnet pulling the entire footballing world toward it. Like casual fans in the US or Europe are setting alarms to watch Al Nassr games, and you've got kids in Asia wearing yellow kits. You've got memes, debates on podcasts, and haters are tuning in just to see what happens next. And that's the wild thing. The haters are part of the ecosystem, because whether you want to admit it or not, you're watching, and once that spotlight hits, everything changes. Suddenly the league is negotiating bigger sponsorship. Other big-name players are sliding into DMs of their agents. Like, yo, what's the move? Should I check out Saudi? And the craziest part is how fast the perception shifted from this being a so-called retirement league to being this legit platform where stars can perform. And that's a huge cultural moment, man, because you've got families in places like London or New York who never gave a damn about Middle Eastern football suddenly talking about Al Nassr at the dinner table. You've got highlight shows that used to only cover Premier League or La Liga now, showing Saudi goals right alongside them, and you can't underestimate how much that changes the psychology of fans. Like once you see it on TV every week, it feels real. It feels, and the money that comes with that is insane, because you've got sponsors who used to only back European clubs now throwing cash at Saudi teams. You've got new stadium plans, new training facilities, everything leveling up. And it all comes back to that one spotlight, man. Because it's not like they didn't have talent before. They did, but nobody cared until there was a reason to care. And once the world had that reason, it was like a domino effect. Cameras clicking, fans screaming, pundits arguing. And suddenly Saudi football isn't just Saudi football anymore. It's part of the global conversation. It's sitting at the same table as the big boys. And people who never thought they'd be saying the words Saudi Pro League are now throwing it around like it's the most normal thing in the world. What blows my mind is the whole conversation about longevity and fitness, because you look at this guy and it's like he's built different, not in some cliche way, but literally, like his body is a machine that he's been fine-tuning for decades. And it's not just genetics, it's discipline, it's obsession, it's waking up every single day with the mindset of a 20-year-old rookie who's trying to prove himself. Except he's in his late 30s and still running past dudes 10 years younger. And that's unheard of in sports at this level. Because usually by this stage, your body's screaming at you, your knees are shot, your recovery time is trash. But this guy is out here sprinting, scoring, flying in the air for headers. And the science behind it is fascinating. Like the way he treats his diet like a religion, the way he sleeps, the ice baths, the training, everything is optimum. And you can tell it's not for show. It's not like he's doing it to flex on Instagram, it's just who he is. He's addicted to maintaining this standard, and that's why it looks so crazy on the pitch, because you don't expect someone at that age to be dominating, but when you break it down, of course he is, because he never stopped treating his body like a temple, and that sends a message to everybody watching. Like, yo, if you take care of yourself, if you treat your body like a tool instead of abusing it, you can extend your prime way longer than anyone thought possible. And that's why every time he scores or breaks another record, it's not just impressive, it's symbolic. It's like a slap in the face to the idea that athletes are supposed to just fade out gracefully. He's like, nah, I'm gonna rewrite the script. I'm gonna show you that with enough discipline and hunger, you can be a monster at an age where people expect you to be coaching or retired, and you see it in the way other players talk about him. They're like, dude's a freak, but it's not freakish by accident, it's freakish by design. Years of consistency, never letting up, never letting bad habits creep in. And that's the ultimate flex, because talent gets you started, but longevity is earned. And he's earned it through pure obsession, and now we're watching the payoff. We're watching this anomaly who refuses to age like a normal human, who refuses to let time dictate his career. And that's why it feels so epic every time he steps on the pitch, because you're not just watching a game, you're watching proof that the limits we thought existed for athletes are actually way further than we imagined. The cultural and historical shift here is absolutely nuts, man, because what you're really seeing isn't just a player moving to a new club. It's the rewriting of the entire story of what football careers can look like. Like before this, the blueprint was always the same. You play in Europe, you hit your peak in your 20s, maybe early 30s, and then you slowly fade out. Maybe you go to MLS or somewhere low pressure to retire quietly. But this flipped that script on its head, because now you've got this superstar showing the world that you can go somewhere people never considered part of the elite stage and turn it into the center of the conversation. And that's massive historically, because football has always been Eurocentric. The powerhouses, the glamour, the prestige, all roads led to Europe. But suddenly Saudi football is on the map in a way it never has been before. And that's not just about money. That's cultural influence, about making millions of people across the globe look at a place they never thought about and take it seriously. And that ripple effect is crazy, because it changes how young kids in the region dream. Now they don't just dream about leaving home to play in Europe, they dream about being stars in their own league, because suddenly their league matters on a global scale. And it's not only the kids, it's the whole infrastructure, governments, sponsors, fans. Everybody realizes this is history being made. This is their shot to build something that lasts. And you can see it happening in real time, like stadiums filling, TV rights exploding, big name players signing. And it all feels like a cultural tipping point, man, like the first domino that sets off a chain reaction. Because once you've got one superstar proving it can be done, others follow. And then it's not just a novelty anymore. It's the new normal. And that's the historical weight of it, because people will look back and say this was the moment where the football world stopped being dominated by just Europe and South America. This was when the Middle East entered the conversation. The fact that it's happening in such a bold, headline-grabbing way makes it even more significant, because it's not just a slow, quiet change. It's loud, it's in your face, it's undeniable, and culturally it makes people question all those old assumptions about where greatness can exist. And when you shift to culture like that, you're not just changing a sport, you're changing perception, identity, and the way history is going to be written decades from now. So here's the thing, man, when you zoom out and really look at everything we just talked about, the immediate impact, the insane numbers, the spotlight, the longevity, the cultural shift, you realize this isn't just about one guy scoring goals, it's about changing the whole landscape of the sport. It's about tearing down the old rule book that said football greatness only lives in certain places, and proving that if you've got the drive, the discipline, and the hunger, you can drag the entire world's attention wherever you go. And that's heavy, dude, because you don't see this kind of cultural earthquake often in sport. This is one of those moments where decades from now, people are going to look back and say, yeah, that was the turning point. That's when everything changed. And it's wild to witness it in real time, to see someone in the later stage of their career still smashing records, still pushing their body to levels most guys half their age can't touch, and doing it all with this energy that says, I'm not done, I've still got more. And that's inspiring as hell, whether you're an athlete, a fan, or just a regular person trying to push through life, because it shows you what's possible when you refuse to slow down, when you keep chasing greatness no matter what people say. And I just want to say good luck to everyone out there grinding in their own lane, whatever your version of the pitch is. Keep pushing, keep testing your limit, because the blueprint is right in front of us, and it proves that impossible isn't real. It's just another challenge waiting to be smashed. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me rant, and good luck on your journey, whatever it is, because if there's one thing this whole story tells us, it's that you're capable of way more than you think if you're willing to put in the work.